Drats.
Hey, Chris.
Hi, Mary.
It's been forever.
Nope.
All of 10 hours.
It really has been.
Yep, you left my house last night at 1:40.
And she wouldn't let me leave, folks. She wouldn't let me
stop
leave.
it. I think you were quite cozy.
And
then she came back.
Okay.
Well, we came and picked her up.
Yep. She got me back again.
Yep. And she's
Don't know
back
how
in the
she
fold.
does it.
You know,
You guys ever feel like it's like, how do they get you back? You want to get out, but you just don't know why you end up back. You know what I'm saying?
it's because of the energy.
Okay.
I have great.
Yeah, you got to be aware of energy sometimes, though, too, because sometimes you could just be like attracted to the wrong kind of energy, take you down the wrong road. But that's neither here nor there, Mary, because yay.
Wow. Are you telling me wrong energy?
No. We were talking
okay.
about the relationship thing, like we were talking about last night. They don't know, but hey, we recorded episode 7 now. We made it to 7 because 7 is a number of
Completion.
Dun, 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 dun. Bro, yo. Oh man, idiots. Okay, so speaking of completion, though, I'm thinking this season's gonna have, I don't know, buttercream guac skin. Are we gonna do one more episode after this, or are we gonna do 3 more? Who knows?
Chris, we don't.
I know. I'm just saying they don't know. The mystery is ours and yours.
And yours.
But it's great because we had a great conversation about relationships, building process, the pursuing process, the getting to know you process, and the partner that you may or may not be interested in. Who really knows? What does it come down to, Miriam? So there's so much with that, because I know we talked about how we gonna like talk about like singleness and lonely versus alone. Oh, that's disgusting. That's the problem. If y'all didn't hear that, Miriam just burped.
Okay, I clearly moved the mic for a reason.
They might have heard it still. It's gonna be a little crumble in the backyard.
I'm
in the backyard.
We've been drinking
background.
these.
There you go.
Chris and I are on beers now. You know, just
We feel like a bunch of dudes.
salute. No, we've our palates have matured, and
You know, it definitely brings you to burp sometimes.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But it just,
made
you
me
know,
a little like,
yeah.
I couldn't help it.
Lady time is here.
Lady,
and you
your-
guys
your
understand.
lady time
My
is
lady
here.
time is
My
here.
lady
Like,
time
well,
is
you know
weird.
what? It's not quite here yet. And I was thinking about talking more about that, but we'll just keep it simple. But like, it's not quite
Nah,
here,
bro.
And I'm
Just go for
sure
it.
that here's what happens. I'm noticing that I really do like my emotions actually really do like start to heighten a lot more when I'm on my lady time. I didn't notice that before when I was younger, but I feel like that's changed now. And the fact that I be getting hot flashes, bro. I be getting hot. I can feel it right now.
You're burning.
Yeah, bro.
It's hot.
I just get it more
Yeah,
hot.
I will
and
say I
overheated.
have noticed, you know, between
my
yesterday and
body.
today, you've been quite moody.
Okay, that's just
so-
you. That's what it is. And sometimes, you know, you just
I
you know,
bring it out.
Sure, blame it on the lady time.
Okay. Yeah, no, my lady time, I just be all over the place.
Yeah, so does it.
Bro. It does. She rude, man. She is rude. Rude gal.
Rude gal.
Nah, man. But yeah, I mean,
Yay.
here we are. Here we are, all alone in this room. Dum dum.
You gotta just have a connection.
Let me tell you
Sometimes
something.
gotta-
You know, she swears she can't stand me, but she loves me.
Oh gosh. Anyways, moving forward. Okay, so it's a couple things. Okay, because I was thinking about from everything that we talked about before, like, do we jump in about like self-care, love, singleness, loneliness, or do we talk about like in tandem with that, like how to know when to get out of a relationship? Because we talked about like the process of getting in one. How do you know when to pull the plug, and how do you do it?
Oh, wow. You seem very passionate about that.
I don't know. There's people out here, but
well, I mean, you pulled the plug.
I pulled the plug, bro, and it's just like how we pull the plug
kinda
on these
yanked
jobs. No, I yanked it. I didn't yank it. You know, easy. I just said I'm out. No, I'm just kidding.
Sounds like a
Just
yank
kidding.
to me.
No, but yeah, there's like there's that component of like knowing when to pull the plug. But maybe we could just talk about, we'll talk about more of what we said in regards to, you know, the loneliness versus being alone, because I feel like what came to mind right now was even something that you've experienced, but I won't even talk about your stuff. You could just see what comes to mind for you. But
Okay, that felt quite loaded, and
no, I was just trying to think. I was like, well, because I was like, I always
came to mind. I don't care.
no, but I always try to think of like
curious.
something that we could both like be able to speak on, which we could really speak on anything because it's just our two different perspectives. But but yeah, like I just know when I did get, here you go.
No, I just had no idea what you was talking
Oh,
about.
I was talking about like that season in your life where you felt literally like,
Oh, got you.
yep,
Okay.
exactly. Like you just was like, what the fudge? Like left with a lot.
What is life?
Yeah, what is life? That's a
Questioning.
whole nother message.
Right.
But
All right, Chris. Yeah, talk about loneliness.
I mean, so
Just being alone.
we talked a little bit last time about like I think one of the main things was just even women and our tendency to like maybe like have kind of unhealthy attachments when it comes to like pursuing our longing to be in a relationship with someone and not really being clear and self-assured and grounded in what we really are striving for, and it's kind of like sometimes making premature moves and kind of being swayed in a certain way by the guy or girl, whatever the preference is, like, and not necessarily being able to stick to what we really are trying to pursue and go for in our lives and in relationships. So kind of being like the submissive one or being the one that just is not. Yeah, I struggle with indecision, for example. And so I feel like it's a common thing, like especially for some of my friends, my friends of mine. But of just like not being able to make decisions in certain areas of my life. But I feel like literally where you struggle in one area, it trickles into other areas as well. So like if I can't make a decision between fries and chips, like at the freaking store or the restaurant, I'm not gonna be able to make a decision between if I want to date this person or this person or what.
That's hard though. I think
Fries and chips.
Yeah, man, we be going through it. They
Sometimes.
be like, "Yo, what you want?" I'll be like, "Oh God."
It really is.
I want both.
I want exactly. And then who's to say you can't have both?
I get both all the time when we was at the
The
restaurant
blessing
today.
of both.
The blessing
Me and my
of both.
friend Shelly Shell were talking about that before, because Pastor Stephen Furtick has a message about the blessing of both. And that actually kind of ties into this where
Both of them.
even like both of them, even like going after a relationship and being able to know that. And then me and Brandy were talking about this too, being able to know that you can ride for you and somebody else at the same time, meaning like you don't have to, when you're going into a relationship, it doesn't mean now you give your all necessarily to that person. You still have your individuality, which again, like that goes back to you and how you like operate, how we talked about in your marriage and stuff, like being able to have your own your own relationships and friendships and time with yourself, and then have your relationship, with your husband, but then also being able to like still unify it in some type of way. So I think that's the area where I know I've struggled with in relationships, where I'm like, oh, like I got to devote this time to this person. And I do believe in that, and it's to some extent, like of being able to make that person feel special. Like, okay, we'll have our days where it's just like our time and stuff like that. But just being able to not lose yourself in that relationship. And that's where it comes like where you become dependent on that person versus having like that interdependent.
Oh, yes.
That's what I want, just interdependentness, going in there as two whole people.
There we go. There it is. Yep. That's what I was.
Two whole people. Go ahead. What you gonna say about that, Miriam?
I'm rocking with you.
Yeah, you're rocking with me.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Half people do not make whole relationships.
That's it.
So yeah, there. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying it's a lot of things that potentially can and possibly will go wrong when like entering into relationships not completely whole in self and wanting the other person who has probably attributes that you would like to make you, and like putting it together to make you whole. I don't think that's the way it works. It's almost like this idea of a piece of a puzzle, and how it's like, like, yeah, this is this piece of the puzzle, and together we make another picture, but that puzzle piece can stand independently.
Yeah.
Like, it is an independent piece that comes together, that is
Yeah.
brought together to make a clearer or a different image.
Right.
So, being able to go into relationships and situations whole, and being able to come together and make an even better picture. So like, I'm good all by myself. Eric and I together, and it's great. Like, it gives my world so much more fun, but I was already good.
Yeah.
Like, I did my work, and he did his work, and we were both already good.
Yeah.
So it's really important.
And I believe that too. Like, even like I said, you don't have to go and expand upon your experience, but like just knowing what you know, and I know what you know as well because I was around. But like, just like, like going from being an independent mom. I'll say that. I don't know.
A single mom.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what I was.
Yeah, but I say independent because I like that word, and I think that it's like you literally had to move independently. You had to move in a way, and I say that because I feel like it has more of a stronghold, like a strongness to it, in a sense of like literally you had to make these moves on your own, and it wasn't. I feel like almost like single mom is like it's almost victimized a little bit, and I'm not saying like. I don't know. I just feel like there's a power in that.
Yeah, there is a sense of some type of connotation that goes with being titled a single mother.
And so I just feel like how you embrace that role, and like was able to kind of like work through that, and then come together, with E, and just like all those different that whole process. I feel like that showed your whole. I mean, that's just an example of you having to work through some things.
Yeah, I mean, and for sure, like when I was pregnant with Autumn, that really was a time in my life where I legitly was or felt alone. When we talk about kind of alone versus kind of or in tangent with loneliness, but like truly feeling and being alone, and just really having to go through what that looks like of being pregnant, not being married, not being with her dad, not, just we're in the same circle. It just like was just all the way one of the most messiest situations I have ever encountered. And I've never been one for mess. Actually hate it. Hate it.
Yeah.
I like tea, but when it's not close to me.
Oh, ouch, because it'll burn you.
It'll burn.
Too much.
Burn,
like, this tea is
Chris.
hot.
That tea is
just right now.
Piping hot.
Piping.
They made it just for you.
She made me tea.
But yeah, and that situation was a very lonely situation, and one of the worst times of my life. And I mean, one of the worst times of my life, thinking that I had support and people that rocked with me and, would just really know my character and know me. And it just all kind of went left
all the way left
really quickly. And it was in those moments, and it got really dark. And in those moments I found myself like questioning just my existence, life, just why these things were happening. But I am grateful that it did happen, because if it didn't, I would not have become whole. Like, I would not have stepped into womanhood and stepped into the woman that I am called to be.
Yeah.
So never mistake or think that being alone or loneliness is, your demise or is the end of you. It's just the beginning. Like, you just have to be broken completely down so that you're really able to rebuild yourself stronger than ever. So
Yeah.
yeah, man, that truly, oh
Yeah.
man. Those who are around, you know what's up. Those who weren't, let me tell you something.
Glad you weren't. No, just kidding.
Call me.
Call me if you need. Call me, reach me if you want to. Wait, beat
call
me.
beat me if you want to reach me.
Yeah. Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know.
We're feeling a song in our spirit, aren't
okay.
we?
But yeah, no, and that's crazy because that resonates. I mean, in a sense, like, I mean, that was definitely a different experience for you than me. But like, I think that my first real, I've had like, I think many experiences of that in regards to like, you know, young relationships or just kind of, you know, diving into the relationship world and things like that. When you're in high school, you think everything is just devastating when like things don't work out. But I mean, coming out of a 4-year relationship,
bro.
it is. I know.
Yeah,
exactly.
when your heart breaks.
But that's what in that
Jesus.
right. But like even when you think about that,
Heartbreak
it's like in high school, you know, not to play us, but it's like you're not you. I don't think you can be whole in that area yet without experiencing those things first, and like you get to know that part of you, and then you figure out what you're gonna need to work on your own to reach that sense of wholeness and esteem, because you are going through that like dang, what's that phase? It's an Erickson thing, but basically it's just like identity versus dang, this is making me look bad, but whatever. Y'all look it up. Erickson's, phases of like psychological phases, but between like the ages of like 18 and 20, whatever, like you're going through intimacy versus isolation. And so like, and then there's a phase before that when you're trying to find your identity and things like that. Usually that's in high school. So it's like you're really discovering that still. So, that's bound to happen. So any high schoolers listening to this,
Well, y'all shouldn't be listening.
Yeah, I mean, nowadays they should.
You.
This is like what it is. This is just real as real as,
Well, let me know.
Unfortunately, middle school almost could qualify for this now, what they learning out there in the world, elementary as well. But anyways, I digress. But yeah, like with me, coming out of choosing, I almost chose loneliness or chose to be alone from my last relationship. And it's like, I didn't realize how much I was being dependent on, or I was kind of making that person my identity in a sense, in some ways, and it wasn't like it was more so subconsciously in a sense of like me focusing on their well-being and them, like just putting more energy into that as opposed to really like, and then kind of like doing things for myself, but just not full out. And so, choosing, that was one of the best decisions that I made, because I feel like I've never been more confident, more self-assured, more just like I've never experienced myself in the capacity that I am now post that relationship that I ever had before. So like, and I thought about it too, because I was like, I got in that relationship in my early 20s. So like in that whole time, those 4 years, I was just like kind of engulfed in that. And I hadn't really experienced like, just being single in a 20-something mindset, like, you know what I mean, like like now having grown and like really experienced life and like kind of going after like goals and ambitions and things like that. So just like I feel like that was a really important, like I feel like everybody needs to have that time, that moment where it's like their breaking point of like, okay, I'm just like, whether it's forced on you, like,
right,
in a sense,
yeah, there it is,
right, or you choose it. But if you have an opportunity to choose it, like if you haven't gotten that yet and you're in a relationship right now and it's like I knew as like a lot, I had a few points in my last relationship where I just knew that I was forcing it and I was trying to make it work, and it was just like, it was times where I was like, I really questioned that. And I was like asking God to kind of like say, like being hopeful that, okay, it's cool, we're going to work through this, blah, blah, blah. Like, it was like, but it's like, deep down, like you got to just let it go. But, it's like you kind of don't, it's difficult. It's difficult to get, I don't know if you've been in a situation like that in a relationship where you had to like, or do you feel like this was like your main like serious relationship?
Yeah, no, I was actually a player, so bros was trifling.
Okay, yeah, we'll talk about that another
I
time.
was
That's
a
good though.
heartbreaker.
Don't know I'm a
So no, I wasn't, but I wasn't like a player like that.
No, I
No,
know.
but I just never had invested or decided to invest time into any of the relationships that I had encountered or entertained,
Yeah.
just because I personally, I don't think I was figuring out my worth and then realizing my worth versus what I was dating was not leveled. So I made decisions like, oh, I'll entertain you, but like I'm not really vested. Like where people was kind of losing their mind over me, I was just kind of like, oh,
Oh goodness,
time to go.
Gotta get out of here. Gotta scram. Remember you talking about how when things get too much, or when people just get.
Oh
little,
yeah, man.
like,
When it becomes too much,
too much
I
emotion.
bounce. The only person I like simped over was my husband. Like that was somebody who I was like, look,
I remember.
I'm down to ride, and we've been through the trenches, and it was yep. He showed me who he was, and I showed him who I was, and all of me, all the crazy parts too.
Yeah, I know.
And he was still reeling the rock, and I was like, wow.
Well, gotta keep this one.
Yep. Or make sure he keeps me.
Yeah, that exactly.
But yeah, no, I never vested. The girl, I ain't had no time for it.
Well, I think that's another thing
I was
too.
having a hot girl life.
Oh God.
Okay.
Oh Jesus. I think that's another thing too in regards to like wholeness of like also knowing like when you might be whole and the person that you're with is having to learn the signs of when they're not and when you have to let that go because of that for their sake. And I think that having that sense of empathy and having that sense of I almost want to call it generosity, because that was actually one of the things too of Brene Brown. Like she talks about like she gives this like acronym for trust, and it's like all these. It's like a little, what's it called?
You got a phone and stuff right there. So
I know, bro, but I like to lose my mind. Sometimes we use these phones, and that's why my mind is fried right now, bro. Sometimes you guys just let somebody just, you know what I'm saying? Process through.
Okay.
The anatomy of trust is the thing. You guys look it up.
There it is.
Then exactly. There's coming up. The Anatomy of Trust by Brene Brown, and she pretty much she classifies trust as like this acronym for the word braving. And so the G in braving stands for generosity. And it means that like when you have, when you can like extend generosity for someone, it means that like you give them pretty much the benefit of the doubt in the most positive way. So like if someone's running late, if someone doesn't call you on your birthday or text you, your automatic thought isn't, oh, they don't care about me. They don't ever think about me. They really just like don't love me like I love them. It's more so like you are like, oh, there has to be a really good reason that they didn't reach out, or they have to be going through something or whatever. It's being able to have that generous mindset.
Yeah, that's so thoughtful.
It is. And that's a way of like,
I ain't got it.
I know you don't, bro. No, just kidding. But no,
no.
But and that made me lose my train of thought while I brought that up. But
Sorry.
I will bring it back.
Having a generous mind.
Yeah, when you're in a relationship and you're having
when you're whole and
exactly.
the other person's half.
Because I was talking about being able to have the empathy for that other person. Because this brings to mind, I'm about to say a word that I don't agree with, but my friends or girls out there might end up having that he ain't
shit
mentality.
Got
Exactly.
You. So Chris didn't want to say the cuss word, so she made me say the cuss word.
I didn't make. She chose. But
wow,
it's okay. She's my sis, so she just she jumped in there. But having that mentality, and we throw that around so much, like Negroes ain't,
Shit.
stuff. No, but we do that, and it's like, and my friend brought that up the other day, and I was like, sometimes we ain't either, like, because we have that mentality too.
People aren't
people
shit.
sometimes.
Like, let me tell you something. It has no boundaries.
It has no boundaries.
No gender. It sees
demographics.
It sees no demographics. It sees no race. It sees no ethnicity. Like,
Right. We be
if you
having
ain't
those
shit, you just truly ain't shit.
moments.
Like, you can have play brothers that ain't shit.
Oh,
You
God.
can have
Right.
play sisters that ain't shit. You can have family members that just ain't
Right.
shit. Like, it crosses. No, I got you.
Don't cross
Look,
across
I
my
can't-
laptop. You crossing beverages around. Anyways, but it crosses over and it spill it too.
It overflows into other places
Jesus.
in your life.
But that's what I wanted to speak upon in regards to generosity, because it's us being able to have that mindset of like, okay, this person literally just doesn't know. And sometimes we say, oh, they do know, but it's like they don't know enough. They can intellectualize something, but they aren't necessarily given the privilege. You gotta go potty. I got to too, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. It's okay. I can tell y'all while Miriam goes potty.
Okay, yep.
Yeah, you gotta figure this out. But anyways, it's so funny. We about to tag team. This is how we gotta do, y'all. Sometimes we gotta, this is our bladder problem. So welcome to Chris Meems podcast. This is a slight intermission, not really, because I don't want to lose my chain of thought. So, but in regards to just being able to have that generosity versus going into that he ain't mentality, she's not here, so I had to just bleep it out. But it's important to be able to understand when people have limitations, like mental limitations, emotional limitations, and not to stick in a relationship just so you can continue to pile on resentment for them, as opposed to being able to sit down and have a mature conversation and decide to part ways so that they can handle their stuff and not dump it on you and not pour into your like emotions and take away from your process. Because that's not what you're there for, That's not what you're there to like endure. Like, that's not what you are striving for. So you literally have to sit down and not be afraid of the loneliness, not be afraid of being alone. And, just for the sake of sticking in a relationship with someone who, is going to extend love to you because they, feel like they need to be attached or have you in their life or whatever. And, just not have that be the sole purpose of the relationship going. So,
Okay,
yeah,
I'm back.
She's back.
Let me tell you something.
Hopefully
We
that made
have
sense.
bladders of 90-year-olds.
Yep, pregnant with twins.
Yep. That have
90
they're not coming out.
They just won't. They just stay. But yeah, I was just telling them about, just being able to have that generosity for the people that we say they not, they are nothing.
Chris so kind. She has such a kind spirit.
I just gotta go out.
Chris gotta go to the bathroom too. Her tag, she's out and I'm in. So guys, I'm gonna give you my personal perspective on that. And while I agree with Chris to a certain extent with giving people grace, which I think is a great word and another way of looking at it, some people will take advantage of just the kindness that we can extend. So I would say with giving people grace and or the benefit of the doubt and or just thinking more kindly, you really do have to guard yourself, because everyone isn't truly entitled to that much. So that's one thing that I would say. Chris, I was just telling them that while I agree and with how kind you are, and another word I came up with, it was grace.
Oh,
grace, giving
exactly.
somebody grace or the benefit of the doubt. Everyone isn't always like deserving of that, or not even deserving. They'll take advantage.
Oh no, but that
it.
I forgot to add to the fact that I was telling them like, get out. I was like,
Oh, Chris, you can't leave that part out with me.
That's why when I was on the toilet, I was thinking like, oh, drats, I forgot to say that I said that. But I was saying like,
you guys
I was
go.
saying extend the generosity in an
Amen,
effort to like
generosity.
make an exit. Like,
Right.
when you have to see the
Okay.
generosity, and you have, meaning the generosity is me letting you go. Maybe it doesn't look like generosity to you, but you got some things you need to figure out
I heard that.
without me. And because,
that.
and all
Come
you're
on,
going to do is
generosity.
continue to have, like, make me resent you. You're going to
Yeah.
continue to leave me in a a heightened mental state that I don't need to be in.
Yeah, because I'm right about to set it off.
Yep,
Somebody want me to set it off.
I don't want it.
No, they don't. We don't want that.
Don't want it.
Yeah, I think that was a great. I'm a read that. I'm gonna read up on Baby Girl.
Oh yeah, Brene Brown.
Yeah.
She's bomb.
You do. You have like a sense of just. You have a zen.
I do.
You. Yes. Chris has a zen, and it's just
warm. That's the warmness.
It's admiring. I admire it because she sees the best in people and she wants the best from people. She really does strive to get it. So I admire that about her because I'm not.
Oh, Jesus. And let me tell you.
I'm just going to leave it there. I'm not. I'm not.
We're working on it. She's good.
I try.
She does. She does good things.
But other times it just doesn't end up working out. So as we give and we provide.
Generously.
Yeah, generously. And we provide space and opportunity for people to grow.
Yep.
Because everybody, it's true. Everybody doesn't. Eric tells me all the time, and I was like, damn, that's so true. He's like, I'm not a mind reader.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know what you're thinking, and we don't think the same way.
Yep. That's a whole...
We are two different thinkers.
Jesus, that's a good one.
So, to have enough to give enough grace to be able to say, you know what? We on two different wavelengths.
Yeah. Like, let me break this down.
Right. Let me break it down to you.
Let me figure out your language to break it down to you.
Yes.
Because that's another thing too.
That's a whole.
Yeah. Like, because you could break it down to me in your language and
my
I
language, and it still ain't.
I'm gonna be like, you making it worse. You know.
Then I end up getting even more pissed.
Right.
Because you still ain't getting it.
You're not getting it.
My Lord. Let me tell
you
you
Lord.
something. It really is. Some people's language is bluntness. Some people's language is kind of this beat around the bush softness.
Yeah, a little sugar.
Some people's language is tell me while we eating.
Some people's language is lying.
Lying.
Exactly.
Some people's language is getting like spending money. Like, I can talk to you better when we're in the store. And I can just kind of like lay it down on you while we're shopping. Let's not do this when we're doing finances, because then when I'm talking to you while we planning finances, you're going to read this all wrong,
Oh, gosh. That's good. That's good. I want to tell them the rest of the braving thing, like what this stands for, and then we can go into, we can close out. Just because I was like, I brought up generosity, which is the last one of braving, but I'll break it down because I think we can go through this at another time. So the first letter B stands for boundaries. This is all how to like be able to know if you can trust or extend trust to someone, or if someone's showing trust to you. And these are things I think that will help us in all types of relationships. Like if they were respecting your boundaries, if you guys are clear on that, that's important. R is for reliability. Are you reliable? I struggled with that in my relationship too. Like, okay, Negro, you not being reliable enough. I don't know about this. Anyways, reliability. A, can't remember it. So that's where you have to look it up again at this moment. I might go back to A. V stands for vault. Vault means where you keep your secrets, where your secrets lie.
Where do you lay your heart?
Exactly. Like what we talked about.
Who you lay your heart with.
Like, being able to say that I can trust you. I can trust you with this information. You're going to keep it in the vault for me. Yep.
Yeah, I only got certain people I keep stuff in the vault with. The people I don't, I'm very clear that I'm not keeping it in the vault.
I won't keep it there. Not in that vault.
When
that
I
vault
said that I'm loyal to the soil, I meant it.
Oh, Lord. I believe I is for integrity. Being in integrity with yourself.
Chris, what are you spelling?
Braving is the thing.
Got you.
Braving. Yes.
Got you.
Yes, it's spelled BRAVING.
Got you. I don't know why I was thinking brave, and I'm like, Jesus, I don't want to embrace and embarrass her.
I know, but it's okay. So I believe
vault, and then what's I?
I is for integrity. But
ooh,
yep, and I'm all about
I've been trying to walk it. Yeah, I'm trying to walk into integrity and walk out of places that's not holding integrity. You feel me?
And I love integrity. And I took a note from your book, and I just went ahead and Googled it so that people,
amen, because you source it right,
I
bro.
know,
Don't give them the wrong information.
Give them
I gotta use my brain because
I just want to give them a little homework assignment. You know what I'm saying? But it's all right. So yes, boundaries, accountability is A. How could I forget that? oh my gosh, accountability. Someone that's gonna
Okay,
hold you accountable.
take it from the top though.
Yeah.
B is what?
B is for boundaries. R is for reliability. A is for accountability. V is for vault. I is for integrity. N is for non-judgment. It says, I can ask for what I need and you can ask for what you need. We can talk about how we feel without judgment. That is powerful. It's huge.
Yeah,
you
that's
guys
a huge
look into
thing.
it because this
Yeah.
is like so simple, but like
It's loaded.
It's literally bomb. Like I'm telling you, it's like Brene Brown is the bomb with this. I said N is for non-judgment, and then G is for generosity. So those are some good pointers. I'm thinking that we might even like break those down and talk about them.
Yeah, I mean, that's very loaded. That's loaded,
Yeah.
but you left them with some good homework. You left me with some good homework. I mean, all I can say is go and be brave.
Go and be brave.
Be
it's all
brave
about
and
braving
It's
out
okay.
here.
It's okay to be brave while you lonely.
Oh, that's the thing. It's brave while you are alone. We want to shift from lonely to alone and being okay with that. Being single and saved. No, but single and sanctified. Single and
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that too.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so it's good. So there's a lot that we'll go into that. I'm laughing because of the background here is lit. But yeah, Mary, we did it again.
Yeah.
I think that it's
Chris
just,
and Meems.
Chris and Meems, where can they find us? Oh, well, obviously they found us in some place if they listen into this. But
Yeah,
you
so
can
thank
tell
you
your
for
friends.
listening.
Yeah, thank you for listening on whatever platform you're listening on.
SoundCloud, Chris and Meems.
Chris and Meems, spell it out.
CHRISANDMEEEMS.
Oh, that was wrong. CHRISANDMEEEMS. Tell me what you want to do.
You know what?
the-
Chris really gets on my nerves.
Well, you said
because
3
she
E's,
asks-
bro. You said three. You said MEEEMS. Bro, you can't.
I thought it said no judgment.
Okay, well, it's not
Braving.
judgment, it's facts.
You're not being
See, that's
braving
the
right
problem.
now.
When you
No
misuse the
judgment.
information, that's when things go wrong. Don't let anybody misuse braving on
Okay,
you.
here she go.
Okay, that's
All right,
what
you
it
guys,
is.
be blessed.
Folks, we're out of here. And yeah, you can find us on YouTube as well, SoundCloud, Instagram, IG. You can also email us at chrisandmemes@gmail.com. Okay, bye. Be blessed and highly favored. What do we used to say in the beginning?
They can really do that. They can email us.
Jesus. Okay, remember, resort back to episode 6 when I said I'm more invested than Miriam is. We're out. Kick us out.